It's time for Chill and Heal. From mental health and anxiety to nutrition and self-care, just chill and live a happy life. Chill and Heal with Chill Spa owner Chrissy Cantor on 99.9 and AM 1370 WFEA. Good morning, Chrissy.
Good morning, Pat, and good morning, America. I am your Chill and Heal host, Chrissy. I'm here to fuel your mind, body, and soul with goodness. We will giddy up today, connect, open up, share, be real, be raw, overcome, let go, learn, and grow together to simply live a happy life. Remember, sharing is caring, and we are not alone. And I'm so excited because Forrie J. Smith is right by my side this morning again. And last week, we had dove right into his amazing part on Yellowstone, the smash hit TV series. And for me, it was all about attitude and gratitude that I saw. But then when we got off camera last week, you made it really simple, and it's about being a good neighbor. And so today's segment is Be a Good Neighbor. So welcome, Forrie.
Well, thank you, and good morning, my fellow Americans. We're Americans first. Remember that. And then the next thing we are is neighbors. And the one thing, that's one of the things I'm proud of, besides Yellowstone and being called a legend at rodeos, is everywhere I've lived, I've been called a good neighbor. In the last place I lived, the people across the road had total opposite views on politics and a lot of different things than I did, but they called me a good neighbor, and I told them I hoped I was as good a neighbor to them as they were to me. It didn't matter what our politics were. We were neighbors first. We came together, got our road fixed, and we're just there for each other all the time. And that trickles up the ladder. If you're a good neighbor, that means you're taking care of your community. And taking care of your community, then that's taking care of your county and your state. And it just trickles on up. And so I think we need to be a good neighbor first and foremost. And that's especially in rural America. I mean, I grew up that way where there was only 3 neighbors on a mountainside, and it didn't matter what our politics were or our religions was. We took care of each other. And that's part of being rural American. But I think also when I lived in apartments, I took care of my neighbors. I talked to my neighbors, and they all knew who I was and what I was about. So I don't think it matters where you live, just to be a good neighbor. But and that also trickles down to taking care of local, buying local. Your sales receipt taxes only help your community. So if you're driving off to another community, to a grocery store, to get gas or whatever, that sales receipt tax is going to the other community schools and roads and everything. You need to stay home, take care of your local folks. It's part of being a good neighbor. And on a broader aspect, if you buy local and American produced products and produce, you know what it's been sprayed with, you know what insecticides has been put on it, because we have rules and regulations here. If you're buying meat or produce from out of the country, who knows what's on it? Who knows what they injected that meat with? Where if you buy American, you buy local, you know what it is. Quality. Yes, ma'am. And you're helping your community.
Yes, which is so important.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays, when, as a grateful American, I try and shop local and do my part. So many times we might think, oh, it's just me. I'm just one person.
One person really can make a difference.
Exactly.
I've proven that a few different times, and I'm trying to do it now. One person can make a difference. I've done it, and with my 4-H in Arizona, I stepped up and they got the kids believing it, and they went on after I left Arizona with my endeavors there. But one person can make a difference.
They can. And 4-H is unbelievable. What a great, my gosh, up in, trying to think, where were we? We were just at a graduation a couple months back and saw these kids doing remarkable things, unbelievable leaders, next generation leaders, but actually leaders as students, and so well spoken. I was just so blown away and honored to be there, to see them do such great work. And it's about being a good neighbor, being kind to one another, respecting each other. It doesn't matter what culture we're from, what religion we are. It's about being kind and respectful.
That's one of the things people don't think about, is at one time, all of America's rural. At one time, all Americans were farmers and ranchers. They had to be forced to survive. And I'm with you on 4-H and FFA. These kids are probably going to be our future leaders of America, of our communities anyway. That's why I try to help kids as much as I can, is because they are our future. But our 4-H and FFA kids, they're not sitting in the house playing video games and stuck on their phone. They got to go feed and take care of their animals. They learn responsibility. They learn discipline. They learn how to schedule things. So I'm looking forward to the rural American kids saving us.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And so basically, we need to kick our kids out of the house, not literally out of the house, but out to play, right? And connect, get off the video games, get off of, the social media, go out, see a sunset, talk to the animals.
And talk to people.
Talk to people.
I think this is one of our problems right now, Chrissy, is that with social media and texting and emails, people don't have to compromise and talk and hear other sides. They just type it out on their computer or on their phone. Boom, they're done with it. That's the way I feel. I don't need to hear what anybody else says. That's my feelings. And people are getting hostile about it, where it's a compromise. I mean, this country was founded with people from different nations, different religions, totally different cultures. They came here. They founded the greatest country in the world. Now, let's all come together, all us different cultures, all us different religions, races, whatever, and fix it. We can.
Yes, we can. And, it saddens me, the division across our nation, when we should be honoring each other's cultures and sharing each other's cultures and connecting and respecting. Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream has been hijacked.
Yeah.
And there's an amazing book series, Pastor Clarence Washington. You've got to check it out. And we should not be judging each other by the color of our skin, but by who we are, our character. And we are judging each other, with the division,
terribly.
And it's unacceptable. And, that's not how it was when I was a kid.
No, me neither. And, what's scary for me is that as I traverse around the country doing different things, is there's people ready for war.
Yeah.
They're like, nothing's going to change until there's a revolution. And that's scary to me. I don't want to be fighting my neighbors. And Democrat, Republican, whatever, they've all fought and died for my country and for my freedom. And America is the only country I could lead the life I live in. And if it wasn't for them veterans, Democrats, Republicans, whatever they were, fighting for that, I couldn't be here doing what I'm doing today.
And me too. And I'm such a grateful American. And thank you to all the veterans out there and all of our people in uniform that are there for us so we
Yeah.
can have freedom of speech. And what saddens me is the censorship.
Yeah, oh, man.
It's just unacceptable,
No.
unacceptable. And what do? Well, we're doing it. We're talking about it,
Yes,
and we're
ma'am.
connecting. And
And thank you for having me on here, Chrissy, and letting me express my views and trying to chill and heal the country. I thank you.
It's my honor. Thank you. And thank you for saying yes, because, when I met you, I was, first of all, I was just so blown away because Team Lloyd all the way. And I love your character on Yellowstone, how you mentored Rip and Jimmy and my friend Megan out there. She loves you. And she's like, I wish I was sitting next to Forrie. And she's like, I'm like, you have any questions you want me to ask him? And she goes, you know what, just tell him thank you for, mentoring Jimmy. And Jimmy, he is a drug addict, and he was pulled out by Rip, literally ripped out of his seat. And you guys gave him a new life, a second chance, third chance is really where it's at.
Oh, thank God for second and third chances.
Yes.
I wouldn't be here right now.
Me too.
Yeah, I thank Taylor Sheridan all the time for what he's done with my character. And I appreciate, he's given me some great lines, and me and Jimmy have had some iconic scenes together, or Jefferson, great actor, great guy to work with. And it's all the guys on Yellowstone. It's, you get a scene set kind of in your mind where your attitude's at, and then you get on the set with them and you get to rehearsing, and they bring things out in you and you bring things out in them, and bam, here's this great scene. And I just thank God that Taylor seen my potential and hired me and put me on the show, and has expanded Lloyd Pierce's role.
Yeah, and we're so grateful. And not only was it an amazing escape for me personally from everything that's going on in this world, it was my my little hour away from reality with just too much of the negativity in the world.
Oh, man.
And it's like we don't want to get sucked in, but sometimes we do. And it was a great way for us, for Jay and I, to escape. And you know what? I love the lessons. Every single episode has a lesson.
Yes.
And there's, my gosh.
Thank you, Taylor Sheridan.
Yes. Thank you, Taylor Sheridan. You are amazing. Everyone you've cast. I feel the pain for Rip and for Beth, and you wonder, where does the hurt come from? Where does the trauma come from? I love how loyal they are to their family.
And to the brand and to their heritage and their culture. That's one of the things John Dutton, he's made a promise to his dad, and he's gonna die and maybe go under. We'll find out in the next coming few years what's gonna happen with. But that's one of the things this country is lacking, is loyalty and believing in something and having faith in something, and even if it's just yourself. And I'm really gracious for what Taylor's done, what he brings out in the show. You're talking about negativity. I'm under the gun everywhere I go now, and I used to be quite a potty mouth, but now that I'm under scrutiny all the time, I've cleaned up my mouth, and what I've came to find out is being vulgar is negative. It just helps me be positive, not using vulgar language. And it's especially the F word, man. It's so negative, and people are just throwing it out right and left now, and that shows to me a lack of respect for yourself, a lack of respect for the people around you, and I just don't understand it.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. And sometimes we use it as an adjective, we use it as a
Yeah.
verb, it's like we really, I need to clean up my language too. I've cleaned, like, I can be a little bit of a potty mouth once in a while. When you're like throwing a little fit, like you're a little overwhelmed, I'm like, all right, I need to shake it off and let it go and use better words to describe things. And sometimes it's about being silent. We just need to be quiet for the moment and not say anything in life,
Granddad said, he said, God give you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Let's do twice the listening that you do talking. And another thing he told me is always listen to everybody and run it through a screen and use what you can and discard the rest. And I do. I listen to everybody. And here, a simple example is I was wrangling on Magnificent Seven. We had a white horse, and he was getting sunburned on his nose and his pink cheek, lips and stuff. And he was getting hard to bridle. Well, I was working with him one morning, and this little hairdresser, don't know diddly about a horse, goes walking by and says, when my baby's butt gets that red, I put Decidin on it. That night, I went to Walgreens, got me a tube of Decidin, put it on that horse. The next day, he was healed up in 2 days.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was open
to listening
and listened, and I was, yeah. Where a lot of other guys probably wait. Oh, hairdresser, what does she know? But you never know where good advice might come from. You just keep your ears open and listen and run it through a screen. If you can use it, use it. If you can't, don't.
Yeah, you know what? I totally get it. And I am a hairdresser, and it's so funny because I got this idea of doing chill and heal because I stand behind the chair and I hear a wealth of knowledge come my way from experts, people's experiences, and we share, we connect, and that is how this idea started for Chill and Heal, because I heal standing behind the chair, talking to my clients and connecting and learning and being open for other people's points of view. So yeah, you never know when good information is going to come your way.
As a cowboy, you have a lot of time to think, and you're riding fence line or you're riding out to check water or just checking the country, or rodeo cowboy, you're driving all the time. And I've often wondered about the stories that hairdressers and bartenders hear.
Oh yeah.
I've been sitting in getting my hair cut and heard the people down the line and just talking, and it's like, wow, what hairdressers and then I've been sitting in bars and hear people unloading on the bartenders. And,
yep.
Yeah, I bet you hear a lot of good stuff.
We do, and that's why I for me, I'm a vault. I'm a vault.
Yeah.
Sometimes I share, but I don't share something that is private. That's why I say I'm a vault. But yeah.
Yeah, I find I'm a vault myself. I did have a little breakdown last week, but the things people come up and want to share with me and stuff amazes me. I'm like, whoa, I didn't need to hear that. But
they must feel connected to you from the show.
Yeah, it's funny how that works. People on I've had this experience from rodeo and people sitting up in the stands and they see you make a great ride, and then you see them and they know your name. that's one of the things I'm having trouble. I don't think I'll ever get used to is people knowing hey, Forrie. And you turn and you look, oh, where do I know them from? And then if they say Lloyd, then I'm okay. It's Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know, but it's funny how that works now. Everybody just comes up and starts telling me things, and I guess that's it. They're connected to me from the show and all the interviews and stuff I do. I had one lady tell me in a deal in Montana, well, that's the same shirt you had on last time I seen you. So I had to come home and buy some new shirts. I didn't realize that I had repeat offenders, repeat audiences that I do. And I thank them for showing up and supporting my endeavors.
Well, for me, I'm a creature of habit, and I like to wear similar things. So I relate. Sometimes I'm like, I think I wore those pants like 3 times when I was doing something specific.
Yeah. Well, I don't, I never.
You don't think about it. You're just doing life.
I'd get them starched and cleaned, and and that people are paying that much attention to me. It's kind of scary, but I've evidently been have the responsibility of carrying a culture and a heritage on my shoulders, and it was quite a weight at first, but I have faith in God and my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and guiding me. And there's times I have given speeches and I get done and I couldn't tell you what I said.
I have goosebumps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with this. I just have to roll with it and be the best man I can, and now see what happens.
Yeah. Amen. Amen.
It goes back to riding bucking horses. You mark them out and you set your feet and hold them till they blow them, and you try and finish the ride. And if you screw up one jump, you don't have time to make it up. You just got to gas it and go on. And you got life in 8 to 10 seconds right there. Sometimes you're going to hit the ground, but you can get back up and get on another one, or you can lay there and let the ambulance come and get you and pack you off. And I've never been one of them.
Well, I respect you so much, Forrie. And, you're so inspiring with getting up, moving on.
Well, that's part of growing up as a cowboy is you get bucked off, you get back on. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You either do or you don't. And if you don't, then you go back to the house and help the women. You want to be out here with the men, cowboy, you get back on and go back to what you're doing. And I had a couple situations like that growing up with my granddad. I had my horse, Bad Billy, got away from me trying to get on him, and we were out fixing fence. And he's riding a big, good, nice mare Cricket. And you think he would give me a ride? I made me walk about 3/4 mile. He says, "You won't let him get away next time, will you?" And by God, no, I don't. I've had horses drag me, but I've had a hold of them. You get bucked off out in the middle of nowhere. You don't want to let your horse get away.
What I love about Yellowstone is each episode has a lesson. And I know we're going to have to go to break in a second, and Caitlin's going to come on and share Chill Deal of the Week. Pat, are we ready to go to break?
Anytime you are.
Oh, Pat.
Oh, I'm here.
Hello?
Anytime you're ready.
Oh. Well, you know what? We're going to wait and see how it goes, and we'll just keep going.
Yeah, I
So-
like that.
Come chill. Manchester's award-winning day spot. Just chill. Come spend a day.
Hi, you there?
Escape the stress of your everyday life. It's good for the mind, body and soul. A boutique spa with all the luxury of a resort. Look chill, feel chill, be chill. Let our talented staff make you fabulous. From couples massage to facials, spray tanning and hair design. We got so much more. Come chill. Manchester's award-winning day spot. Just chill. Come spend a day at Chill.
Online at chillspa.com. More than ever before, it's important to take care of your well-being and fuel your mind, body, and soul with goodness. Tune in Wednesdays at 9 a.m. for Chill and Heal with Chill Spa owner Chrissy Cantor, the Chill Girls, and special guests sharing experiences and expert advice on how to keep it simple. Just chill and live a happy life. They'll dive into a variety of topics, from mental health and anxiety to nutrition, self-care, and tips on how to look and feel good every day. Chill and Heal, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. on 99.9 and AM 1370 WFEA. We get busy with our day-to-day lives. Chill Spa wants to remind you to take time for you. Making clients look and feel their best is their mission. Chill Spa is here to treat your body, calm your mind, and soothe your soul. Chill specializes in luxurious facials, face and body skin tightening, and cellulite solutions, skin and body contouring, makeup, hair, and nail care, spray tanning, and more. Book your chill time today. 1224 Hanover Street in Manchester. Online at chillspa.com. Chillspa.com.
Now, back to Chill and Heal on 99.9 and AM 1370 WFEA.
All right, we are back on air. Sorry about that hiccup. You know, it's, hey, when you have a hiccup in the day, keep going and giddy up.
That's
Let's
right.
make it a great day.
Get back
No
on.
matter what.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It ain't going to mess my day up. The glass is always half full for Forrie J. Well, I did have a meltdown last week, everything kind of, but
Anything you want to talk about?
oh, not really. Just I don't, I people don't realize what they're asking of me all the time. But the meltdown was, I'm not making excuses. I wasn't right, and it's just life gets overwhelming sometimes, and for all of us, and I didn't handle it right that day, and I know it, and I'm not making any excuses, and think about what you did wrong and forget it, and think about what you did right and build on it and go on, and that's what I'm doing.
I love it. And, we're human.
Yeah.
And we need to forgive ourselves, learn the lesson, move on, not carry the shame. And, that line, I want to go back to that line
Yeah.
because it's so remarkable.
Shame's a faucet you can turn off. Yeah, it is. And pain, a lot of things you can turn off in your brain. And that leads me back to rural America again. That's one of the reasons I think rural America is healthier than urban America, is because we got to get up and take care of the livestock and the plants and and the place. We can't lay around thinking about how sick we are. So we work the bad stuff out of us and good stuff into us. We ain't just laying there letting the bad stuff multiply. And so I think that's one of the reasons. I don't know for sure, but rural America seems to be a lot healthier than urban America. And I believe that's one of the reasons. We don't dwell on it. We love what we do. We're helping feed America. And we get up and get to it where, urban America, they might not enjoy their jobs as much. And so they stay home and lay down and just let the sickness, whatever it is, overcome them. And bad attitude or a bad experience or bad situation can do that to people. And you just get to dwelling on it. And it's kind of what I did that day. Was I had some bad situations going on, and I just got to dwelling on them instead of how blessed I am and all the beautiful things I have happening in my life. And I took it out on one person, and I was wrong, and I shouldn't have done that. They didn't deserve it. And but I didn't cuss. I didn't get vulgar. I got a little loud, but I didn't get vulgar.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all work in progress, right?
Right, exactly.
You know, one step at a time, and
That's right.
a little forgiveness goes a long way.
Yeah.
And it's so important to forgive people and move on and not carry that negativity with us, because stress is a killer. Stress actually changes our cells in our bodies.
Yeah.
And when our cells change, that is when disease is created. And that is why it's so important to chill and be healthy. Think about what we put in our bodies and what we put in our minds, even more so.
Yes, the mind is a powerful, powerful thing. I mean, it's the computer that runs this machine, our body. And I think I said it last week. I said, I rode bucking horses and my mind wants to, but my body couldn't do it anymore. And I tell people my mind was writing checks if my body couldn't cash. So there comes to a point. I think what I'm trying to say here is the mind is stronger than the body, and it runs things. And I know for a fact stress changes people. And I think one of the things that I know I've had troubles growing up, I always put people on a pedestal, and then they can't live up to that. And I'm kind of, everybody thinks I should be perfect. They just know this celebrity. Well, I'm just a mess up like everybody else.
Well, we're all human.
Yeah.
We
all put our pants on one leg at a time. I don't care how much money you got, what kind of celebrity you are. You put your pants on one leg at a time today.
Yeah.
Just like everybody else.
That's exactly it. And that, and let's go back to that first time when I met you. And, it's really your values and your old time values, your kindness. I mean, you just started chatting. You're friendly. You're open. And when I started chatting with you about, life and rural life and what is it like to really live the real rural life. And then I mentioned, I'm going to be starting a radio show. And it's about chilling and healing and fueling our mind, body, and soul with goodness. And you were like, you lit up and you're like, I have a naturopath. And I'm like, oh my God. And so what I found so remarkable is you didn't know me. You gave me your card to call you. You didn't have to answer your phone. Technically we're in this radio show, even though we live stream it, it's in New Hampshire, live free or die state, my hometown of New Hampshire, where I was born and raised in New Hampshire, but living in New Mexico as well now. But I was just like blown away that it's like we did it on a handshake, and you committed, you showed up, and you're like just so open.
Well, that's one of the things that's wrong with this country is and especially now that I have this, I guess, called celebrity status.
Yeah.
People tell me what they think I want to hear. I need to hear what's real, the truth. And I've always been that way. I came up rodeoing back when there weren't any cell phones. We lived in payphone booths and having phone credit cards. And when you told a guy, maybe you were drinking at the bar or something, but a guy's like, okay, I need a ride to this rodeo or that rodeo. Can you pick me up? And you told him yes. He's counting on you. There wasn't no cell phone to text and say, hey, are you coming? Are you showing up? You did what you said you were going to do, and he does what he said he's going to do. And that's the way it had to be. And I kind of miss the landlines. Have to have the phone in your pocket all the time is nuts. You go home and, as a equine dentist, floating horses' teeth and training horses and stuff, I had to be there when I told people I was going to be there. And with the landlines, you made one phone call. You told them what time you were going to be there. You made a date. They gave you directions. You showed up. Now with the dang cell phones, well, I'll call you back on that day. It's 3-4 phone calls compared to the old one on the landline. I'll call me when you're on the way. I'll give you directions then, or blah, blah, blah. But even if I was going to be 10, 15 minutes late, I would, after we got flip phones and stuff, I would call people. And because, when you're dealing with people, sometimes your schedule, it's hard to keep a schedule.
Oh, I can't even imagine with how busy you are. And that's why I really appreciate you doing this and sharing about everything that you've gone through in life and your how real you are,
I was just Forrie, Jay. I been blessed with this spot, this platform, and I pray that I'm handling it right. And it's something I think about every day. Is being right with it and right with my world. And I'm blessed, and I want other people to feel blessed. And I got here. There was times that the only way I could make the world a better place was pick up some trash or open a door for a lady. I've always tried to dress good. There's times I've told people, oh, you look nice today. I'm like, yeah, it's all I got going for me today. I dress nice. But I would, like I said earlier, I would build on that. And, I think it's each person's responsibility to make the world a better place every day. Even if it's only a smile and opening the door.
Yes.
There's times the first couple seasons I'd drive back and forth to Yellowstone. I would make it a goal, and we did this rodeoing too. We're going to stop. We want them grinning and laughing when we leave. And that would be my goal everywhere I stopped, that people would be smiling when I left. Some kind of joke or do something stupid. Just get people
feeling good.
Feel good, yeah.
Yes, I love that. It's a great goal. And, putting a smile on someone's face, it's such a good feeling when someone smiles back.
Yeah. You make them belly laugh.
Yes, belly laughing is the best.
It's good for people. It's a proven fact that laughing releases endorphins and that it's healthy for you.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. We need to do more laughing.
Yes, we do.
A good cry once in a while is good, but it's how we get up and move on and get through things.
Yeah.
So I want to head back. What I love, with the lessons, your character, Lloyd, as you're mentoring these young guys, Jimmy and Rip, and is that what it's like for you in real life?
Yeah, kind of. I've got a kid working for me. Well, he just give me his 30-day notice. Thank you. Uh, and he's been working with me since he was 15. He's in college now, second year in college. Um, when he came to work for me, he was real inverted. Uh, they and I just kept slapping him on the back and kicking him in the butt.
Mm-hmm.
I never really had to. He's a good kid. The only time I really had to get on to him was I told him, I said, look, man, I'm your boss. And I shouldn't have to tell you things 2 or 3 times. I'm not your mom. I'm not your dad. I don't care how you do it. If you got to put it down in your phone like you kids do or whatever, but I'm done having to telling you things 2 or 3 times. And the kid's got confidence now. And uh, him and his dad didn't get along. Like weren't getting along, and that happens with kids in their teens,
Yeah, it
young
does.
men. And it was Father's Day, and I asked him if he'd talked to his dad. And he said, no. And I said, well, you know what, Pard? You only have one dad. He said, don't matter if you get along or not. Call him up, tell him Happy Father's Day. And I said, that'll go a long ways. You'll feel better. He'll feel better. And that's all it takes is that one call. And so now I've just hired another kid a couple days ago. It's a little character. And I can see we're going to be kind of doing the same thing with this. And he's kind of inverted. And I got a kick out of him the other day after he left. He said, I've been here all day and ain't heard one swear word. All right.
That is excellent.
Yeah, I did too. I didn't really think about it, but yeah, and he wants to come back. He's like, when do you need me again? When do you need me again? And that makes me feel good, and evidently he feels good, and that's
what it's about.
yeah.
It really is. And in life and on Yellowstone, the importance of mentoring and hard work. That's what I'm seeing in the lessons with Rip. It's his hard work as a young kid, and then he was tough on the other boy that came in that Beth wanted to kind of take under her wing as her son, and then she realized, no, tough love is important nowadays, not just giving in to everything to make our kids happy, because really happiness comes from confidence. Yes.
Yep.
Feeling good about what you do as a person.
I've got some friends, wrestling coaches and football coaches and stuff, and they're like, how can I put a football team together? Well, the kids never had a spanking, never felt any kind of pain at all. And the wrestling coach was the same way. And then there's a lady over in Sierra Vista that I floated her horse's teeth, and I forget exactly what her job was, to take the kids from basic training. And she says, here, I got these kids that they grew up getting a trophy for just showing up. There was no winners or losers. And I got to make an army out of these kids. They think once they show up that their job's done. Well, no, it's just begun. And, I got spankings. I got thunks on the head. I got sat in the corner. Just before the show, I heard where somewhere's going to make it mandatory that kids get up, move around every half an hour, and then the older kids every hour. Well, I had to sit in the chair in the corner more than a half an hour, more than an hour. I don't know that. One day when Grandma caught me roping her chickens, I think I was in the chair most all day, sitting in the corner till Granddad got home. And he says, well, Joe, he says, if he can herd them chickens in a corner and sort one off and rope it, how's good's he going to be when he gets a horseback working cows? So Granddad saved me there. But, I think we've just gotten too far. too far with this babying, and I don't have any problems with a little tough love.
Yeah, I think it's really important. And
But
you-
on the other hand, too, it's my mom, um, pretty tough on me, but my grandma just give me a look. And I'm like, oh, and my granddad, he kicked my butt a couple times. He would thunk me on the head. Um, so I don't know. It's a weird deal. Uh, we used to get spanked at school, and then you got spanked again when you got home. I think it creates toughness. You figure out the little pain don't stop you. I think too many people dwell on a little bit of pain. I think that's why all these people are getting new knees and new hips and stuff nowadays. I think that's more of a fad. It amazes me, here I rode bucking horses, I played football, rode bucking horses, did stunts, and I have all my original joints. My knees, my hips, they say we need to change, but I take my vitamins and supplements, and I'm actually, I was thinking about this last night, that I'm in better shape now than I was when I started Yellowstone in 2017. I'm a lot healthier.
I saw that when you're in the bunker, you took off your shirt, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you
Yeah.
are ripped.
Yeah. I've been blessed with staying in shape all my life. I've been involved in sports. I started riding calves when I was a little kid, and it's been important to me to stay in shape. I'd like to be in a little better shape than I am now. I'd like to ride my bike more than I get to. But yeah, you got to take care of your temple. And for
So important.
for that scene, I'd quit working out for a couple of weeks because I didn't want to look too ripped. I just want to look like an old cowboy. But I'm kind of vain about my looks and my physicality. And I think that's important. It makes me feel good that I have that going for me. I do my push-ups and sit-ups and stretching every morning, and it starts my day out right.
I love it. And we need exercise.
Yeah.
In all forms, and keep going. And man, it's a good day sitting with you, Forrie. And I know we have to wrap this
Chrissy.
up. I don't. We only have a few more minutes, and I got my great T-shirts in.
Cool.
Can you tell me a little bit about them? Because what I love, we have 5 minutes left, Pat said, and we have Cowboys are made in America.
Only made in America.
Only made.
The term cowboy came during the Civil War in Texas. It was an honor to be the cowboy of the family because the older men had left and went to war. So whoever was next in line took care of the cows, and he'd go to town. I'm the cowboy of the family. And that's where the term cowboy actually came from. So cowboys and rodeo are only made in America.
I love it. And America feeds America.
Rural America.
Rural America. Yes.
Rural America feeds America. That comes from one day with my granddad. I don't know if I got time. He was whining about, I'll make it real quick. He was whining about the cow prices and stuff. And I said, well, why are we doing it, Granddad? And he looks at me and he says, well, we're helping feed our country, son. We're helping feed America. And that's what rural America does, folks. And you got to vote right and think about where your food and your cotton for your underwear, your T-shirts, your wool, all of that comes from rural America. And we have to support rural America or we're all going under.
Yeah, we are. And it's just not okay. It's not okay to Americans that love America, So we need to buy American, be good to our neighbors, be kind, love our country. and really educate ourselves on who we're going to vote for. Know
Yeah.
people's records. Do they align with your values?
Yeah, I'd like to see people spend as much time researching the candidates as they do their fantasy football team or their fantasy rodeo team, or as much time as they spend watching sports. I mean, them guys are just playing a childhood's games and they're making millions of dollars. Let's support our teachers who
Yes.
spend more time with our kids than we do for 12 years out of their lives.
Yeah, I totally agree. We need to knowledge up,
Yeah.
and that will empower us, and we'll all live a simply happy life.
Education, they can never take that away from you. Whether they might maim you, they might lock you up, but whatever you learn, you have all your life. Education is a good thing. I read a lot and try and stay up on, especially now that I'm doing all these speaking events, trying to stay up on current affairs so I'm not spreading false information.
Yeah, it's so important because sometimes, we might be sharing something that might not be true,
True, yeah.
and it's so important. Let's fact check.
There's
I
a
call
lot of-
myself fact checker Chrissy.
There's a lot of falsehoods going on out there right now. I mean, you can't hardly believe nothing that you hear about politicians and stuff. So you got to research it so you know yourself.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Take the time, invest the time in America. This is your only country you got. And so invest some time in it and make smart decisions.
I love it. And Forrie, one more thing. I know we got to wrap this up, but I lost my dad 6 years ago to prostate cancer, and I really appreciate mentioning prostate health on Yellowstone and the importance of, hey, make sure your prostate's in check. My dad checked his prostate. It was a simple PSA test. You had mentioned how you have your prostate checked when you were talking about, your bones aligned and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And a simple blood test, PSA, to check those levels. I had my dad 17 more years because of that test and because of his attitude and his gratitude for life. And he would be a huge, huge fan of yours. And he would be so excited, like, oh my gosh, he would be jumping for joy that I'm sitting next to you. And
Whoa.
I just, so I'm part of the National Alliance for Prostate Cancer Coalition, and there's a wealth of knowledge out there. You can go to their website. So check your prostate, check your health. And Forrie, we have 1 minute left. What do you want to say to America? And thank you for coming. And a special thank you to Semco and the Hise family for hosting our special show.
I just thank your veterans. Thank your police force, your EMT people. We need them. You ever need a pick up? Go visit the VA hospital. I see there was guys in there hooked up to getting chemo, cracking jokes with me and stuff. I was so uplifted after I left there. I just love our veterans and what they've done for our country. And don't be scared to reach out.
Reach out, connect, chill and heal. And thank you, Forrie, for being